Hey everybody, how's it going? It's been a while. Been a while since I've made a Seattle Seahawks video. We may be in the middle of the deadest part of the NFL season. That window of time in June and July after OTAs and before training camp. So, hasn't been a lot to talk about, hasn't been a lot going on. We haven't even seen the wave of cuts that I fully expected league wide. Fletcher Cox is still an Eagle. Jason Kelsey is still an Eagle. Lot of guy Chandler Jones is still a Cardinal. A lot of these guys that I thought were going to shake free, it hasn't happened yet. It can still happen, but I expected some June fireworks, and here we are in July and nothing. So rather than manufacture a bunch of weak discussion points, I've just kind of been slowing the video schedule down for a little bit. Um, 2021 training camp, the full training camp commences on July 27th. So, in about 2.5 weeks, we will have more things to discuss. We will actually have something to talk about. Give it 2.5 weeks, and things will be happening again. So, I could have maybe made a video about the N'Keal Harry stuff. I had a couple of people ask me about what I thought of N'Keal Harry requesting a trade from the Patriots, but I I mean, if you take a look at the numbers so far, I don't see how a guy like this warrants anything more than a conditional seventh rounder or conditional sixth rounder. This is a guy who has played with two completely different quarterbacks so far in his career. This is a guy who's played on a coaching staff that is known for its high level of competency and ability to get the most out of their talented prospects. So I'm not seeing any reason to acquire this guy for anything more than a conditional seventh or sixth round pick. I know he's got talent. He went in the first round. That means something, but I'm not giving up anything real for him. So that's really all I can say about that. There was an article I found last week saying that the Jamal Adams contract extension talks were not going well, but it smelled very clickbaity, so I didn't want to make a video about that. So rather than try to force a video, I've just kind of been sitting back and waiting for things to happen. I still believe this team has one more free agency signing in them, but it hasn't happened yet, and I've already speculated all I can speculate on what it might be. So today we're going to talk about something that's going to happen in the next few days that is actually worth our attention, and that is the situation with Aldon Smith. So we all know what happened with Aldon Smith a few months ago, and we all know the situation that he currently finds himself in, but we haven't had a lot of answers as to what are the odds of him being able to play for us this year. When are we going to know more information? We don't know what the chances are of Aldon Smith actually making a contribution to the 2021 Seahawks are. So, in a few days, we should actually have something a little more concrete. So, if you scroll down in this article that was posted a while ago, um, Aldon Smith's arraignment is set for July 14th. Now, today is the 11th, so 3 days. In 3 days, we're going to at least have some amount of clarity on the Aldon Smith situation. And I continue to find it very interesting that this team has not released him. So they must believe that it's at least possible, that we might get Aldon Smith in 2021 playing on the team. If you take a look at the way the Seahawks dealt with the Tamorrion Terry situation, where we just dropped him like a bad habit, then contrast that with how we've held on to Aldon Smith 3 months after his incident, then I feel like there's something here. Now, I don't know if that's the best way to justify something like this. I don't know if it really means anything other than that we just have nothing to lose. But if you look at what the Atlanta Falcons recently did in the Barkvarious Mingo incident that was just a couple days ago, as soon as he got charged with this, and granted, what he got charged with might be a little bit worse than what Aldon Smith got charged with, they just booted him out. They just cut him. They just let him go. They just terminated his contract. And look, Barkvarious Mingo is very much a bust and has never really been good in the NFL. I think most of us will remember that he was actually on the Seahawks a few years ago. Um, I understand it's a little different. Aldon Smith actually has talent. Aldon Smith actually has produced in the NFL as recently as even last year. He played pretty well, and there's reason to believe that he could do a lot of positive things for the Seahawks in 2021. I know it's a little different, but still, the fact that you look at situations like this, where a guy like Barkvarius Mingo just gets booted the moment the charges happen, and then you see what happened with Aldon Smith, it makes you wonder if the team knows something. Now, whether or not the team actually does know something, I don't know, but the crux of this video is that we will know something in 3 days. We're going to at least be able to see how Aldon Smith pleads. Presumably, he will plead not guilty, and we're probably not going to get too much more than that until a later date. But if Aldon Smith is willing to plead not guilty, then that must indicate that he feels like at least there's no dead to rights video evidence that is just going to completely ice him, right? It's tough for me to believe you would bother pleading not guilty if there's lock it up video evidence of you doing it, right? And that was supposedly the proof that the NFL had and the authorities had that made this such a lock it up case. So I actually feel like we may be getting some at least encouraging news in a few days here. It's not a whole heck of a lot, even if Aldon Smith plays for us this year. I've heard conflicting reports on how good a shape he's in right now. I've seen the videos of him working out and being in Seattle and giving every indication that he thinks there's at least a chance he's going to play this year and him working towards being in good enough shape to actually contribute. But even if he is in shape, he's not going to play a ton of snaps. But I believe having him here versus having him not here could have a very big impact on the effectiveness of this pass rush. I think him being here versus him being not here could be the difference between a great defense and an elite defense. Because pass rush is everything in this league, and I believe Aldon Smith can provide a boost to this pass rush that you just wouldn't really expect to see from a guy like Brian Monet or Rasheem Green or whoever would take his snaps if he can't play. So watching this situation with a lot of interest. Again, 3 days, July 14th, we will know at least more than we know now. And that may be the last interesting Seattle Seahawk thing before training camp. So we'll see what happens. I'll make a video about it, and I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Peace out, go Hawks. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you guys next time there's something to talk about, I guess.